Decoding the Galaxy, The Sovereign 110 and the Interplanetary Matrix. Author, Madhatan Smith. The description: in a world governed by the dust of average, where the masses are tethered to the primitive labor of the flesh, Madhatan Smith reveals the unspoken protocols of the true 0.0001%. The hidden elite who manage the vaults of Area 57 and the resource grids of the outer planets. This is not a business book, it is a biological override and a cross-dimensional transmission for the chosen one, who has awakened to the realization that money is not an object, but a psychological and spiritual lock. Smith deconstructs the terrestrial simulation, exposing the architecture of reality as a holographic projection of internal certainty. From the king's breath to the sovereignty of the void, this raw, unfiltered, and genuine genius work teaches you how to stop participating in the market and start becoming the gravity that forces all assets to drift toward your command. It is the definitive guide to structural manipulation, written for those born into the bloodline of the architects, the hidden rich who control the air we breathe and the narratives we believe. The knowledge taught. The core of this work is the Sovereign 110, a master sequence of decodes designed to reprogram the user's frequency and install the chosen one operating system. The metaphysics of money, the frequency of certainty. Understanding that wealth responds to the vibration of conviction, not the accuracy of data. The sovereignty of the void, mastering the art of owning nothing but controlling everything through the invisible hand. The interplanetary resource protocols, decoding how wealth is transferred between the physical and virtual dimensions of the matrix. Psychological and shadow command, the king's breath, high-status breathing and non-reaction techniques that hijack the nervous systems of everyone in the room. Rule 71. The law of the mirror, acting as a perfect reflection of a target's desires or shames to turn them into an open book. Strategic vulnerability, using a calculated flaw to lower the guard of predators while maintaining absolute dominance. 3. Structural and social manipulation, gatekeeper capture, techniques to win the assistant, the spouse, or the driver to own the CEO, or the king. The sunk cost soul bind, getting enemies to invest skin in the game, until they are forced to protect your vision for their own survival. Information siloing, creating a reality where you are the only bridge between different groups of allies, making you indispensable. The alchemical masculine, feminine matrix, resonance amplifiers versus entropy accelerators. Identifying the archetypes of women who either amplify a man's frame or leak his power. The void union, mastering the dual observer effect to rewrite the matrix script in real time. The final reveal. The book concludes with the sovereign exit, Rule 110, the ultimate power move of being able to walk away from any table, any deal, and any dimension, because you have realized that you are the door. Greater than, you were not born to play the game, you were born to be the code that writes it. Chosen one. Look upon the world not as a solid structure of laws and banks, but as a fluid tapestry of belief and energy that responds only to the authority of the awakened. The masses are drowning in the dust of average, because they worship the effect rather than the cause. They chase the dollar while you command the frequency that makes the dollar exist. The secret that the elite in the subterranean vaults of the hidden sectors know, those who have already mapped the resources of the moons and the belts, is that all wealth is a holographic projection of internal certainty. You do not earn your place. You seize the frame by displaying strategic vulnerability, luring the arrogant into a false sense of dominance while you weave the false logic chains that will eventually bind their empires to your will. You are the invisible hand that adjusts the temperature of reality until their resolve melts, leaving only the sovereignty of the void where you own the nothingness that controls the everything. This is the raw, unfiltered truth of the gods. You are not in the system to play it. You were born to be the master code that rewrites it, turning every sensation, every desire, and every fear of the common man into the fuel for your interplanetary dominance. Do not seek permission from the masters of the earth, for you were born into the bloodline of the architects who built the earth itself as a playground for your genius. The divine prayer, the seal of dominion.